So I found an old cake in the back of my freezer, which is why it's a little bit lumpy bumpy. So I was thinking, what could I make with this one where we can carve it down and get rid of kind of the lumps and bumps on it? So I decided to do rhubarb from Paw Patrol. I printed myself off a template, so I found an image of rhubarb on the Paw Patrol official website. And I kind of printed it to the size that was roughly, or his head to roughly the size of the cake I had. And then I'm going to cut out the shape of his head on a cake card. And then I'm going to use that cake card to cut around and just basically cut the cake to that shape. And even though like sometimes I print off templates like this and I try and follow the template, it still doesn't end up the same shape. But I think it's going to turn out close enough later. Anyway, we're going to just put a bit of buttercream in the middle. I think maybe green color. I'm just going to use these particular ones. You can use any food color, apart from like the really watery ones. You don't want to stick them in buttercream actually. So we'll just get that mixed in. I was going to go red because rhubarb is red, but Richard, my other half, said green would look nice. So there we go. So we're just going to put that in the middle of the cake that we've kind of already cut out, and let's put the top bit back on. And it shouldn't matter that my cake kind of got all squashed and was a little bit lumpy bumpy from being squished in the back of my freezer, because we're going to now start cutting it down. So can you see I have kind of marked out the areas that are going to be kind of sloped back or would be set, deeper in kind of, I can't think of words to describe what I'm talking about today. Hopefully it's making sense. Basically, we want to make it more 3D. So I want the bits that are kind of further back in the distance, kind of removing, cutting off, rounding off the edges of around the outside edge of the face, and kind of cutting off more of that bottom jaw because that would be set further back on the face, and then just rounding off the nose at the front, removing a piece where the eye is going to sit because we want the eye to sit a little bit further back. And I am using the template to constantly kind of look at for this. My cake is still kind of partially frozen at this point. It does start to defrost as I'm working on it. And it is worth mentioning, it is so hot today while I'm working on this. So I wish I had kind of left it till a non-warm day to start this one, but already begun. So it's got a thin layer of buttercream on first, which I'm just scraping with like flexible smoothers, or you can like cut yourself off a piece of acetate. This is stuff that you buy specifically for cake decorating with. I'm going to just do one layer and we're going to stick it in the fridge. Then we're going to bring it back out and do a second layer. Now, the buttercream doesn't hold up overly well, or at least my buttercream doesn't hold up overly well in the hot weather. You can mix it with some chocolate ganache if you want. If you want to dye it green, then go for a white chocolate ganache. But dark chocolate ganache is going to be like the firmest one that you could use, especially in warm weather. But even still, that's still going to melt. So I've smoothed it down on that second layer, and there's a little bit too much near the eye, so I've removed some of that. And I'm going to cover it now in fondant or sugar paste. So I've got some red ready coloured because I'm too lazy to colour my own. It also makes a huge mess of my hands. So I'm using the Saracino one. You can use whichever one you want, but I've just put little pieces on and the parts of the face that I think are going to stick out a little bit. So like, can you see like above his eyes, kind of that brow area, and then a little bit that kind of goes from the nostril upwards. And you don't want to go too big with this because when we add our final layer of fondant over the top, it will make that look bigger. Hi guys, I just want to very quickly interrupt this video just to say a big thank you to my members of my subscription service, and also to let you know that this lady is in there now as the latest video that you guys can watch. If you do want to know more about my subscription service, I'll put links below the YouTube video as well, guys. And now back to the video. And I think we're going to need to use a texture mat to create the texture on his face of that kind of dinosaur skin. So I've got a few different ones. The first one's actually like for like a stone floor. The second one's a crocodile print. This see-through one is another, I think it's another stone floor effect. I don't know if you can see them very well on camera. And then the last one, which I've got food coloring stuck all over, is again, I think it's a dragon skin. I think this one or something like that. Anyway, I've decided on the crocodile one. So I've rolled out the fondant. It's probably about 3 or 4 mils thick, maybe 3 mil thick. You don't want it to be too thick, otherwise you just got a lot extra on the cake. And I've put that impression mat, the crocodile one, in first, because sometimes it can be difficult pressing it around the curves and things on the cake. So I've put a little bit of it on first, but we will kind of go over with a bit more texture shortly. I'm just going to press into any places that need shaping so as quickly as I can before the fondant starts to firm up. Although because it's warm, it's not going overly firm very quickly. In fact, my buttercream underneath is getting a little bit soft as I'm working on it, even though I did have it in the fridge before putting this fondant layer on. Now, I've swapped to the different texture mat for underneath kind of the bottom bit of the chin, and then back to the crocodile one for kind of above the cheek bit. So any areas that I've kind of missed getting that texture on. And looking at the image, I think it's got more defined kind of scales above the nose and eyebrows. So I've just tried to put those in by hand with my Dresden tool. I'm going to remove any extra paste off from around the outside of the head. And then I'm going to work on an eye. So you can see just in the corner of the screen, I'd cut out the eye from the template. I think actually I still ended up making mine a little bit bigger, and it's just white fondant. So if you don't like fondant, it's probably not the best design or the best way of doing it. If you don't like fondant, of course you can peel it off. But there is a lot of fondant on this one, including like the eye. So I'm just marking on where his eyelid kind of goes, top and bottom. And then I've just cut out some little teeth. So this was literally, I've just cut the curve off the edge of a piece of fondant for the teeth. Now, you can stick them in with water, but at the moment I've just left them as they are because I think I'm going to just pull them out of place in a little bit so I can dust behind them. And then for the eye, again, I've used the template and I've used a black edible pen. So please don't just use a normal pen. This is an edible pen. I'll link it below so you know which one I used. Same for the colours. I'll put links below the video so you guys can see which ones I used. But these are edible powder colours now. So I'm using a little bit of black anywhere that I want it to look darker. Keeping it dry with a fairly wide-ish brush. And I wish I'd done the white areas before the black, as what I found was when I was trying to kind of paint on the white, and I used white and cream, but some of the black kind of mixed in with the white, and then instead of it looking like a really nice bright white, it looked like a little bit dirty. So I tried mixing the white to a paint and putting it under his chin. You can see that my first attempt, it kind of kept sticking to the brush and coming back off. So I had to wait for that to dry before I could go over with a second layer. The first layer, I actually mixed my white edible powder with water, which usually works for me, but I only usually do it on really small areas. So the second time I mixed it with clear alcohol and it worked much better, giving me a much better coverage. So the eyes now are just edible pens again. So I've got a green. I did have a tiny bit of a yellow one, but the yellow one had kind of run out, so it didn't work very well. And then black. So concentrating a lot more green and black at the top, and black especially around the very outer edge. And the thing that really sets it off is an oval of white fondant in there, like a little highlight. And if the white fondant doesn't look bright enough, just paint over it with a bit of the white powder that's mixed to a paint. And then a thin strip of black, just, can you see, just under the top eyelid. And then I've got some kind of semicircles of black fondant that were just squishing on the top of his head, for his little spikes. Is that the technical term for them, spikes? And I'm just pushing those teeth back in place because I took them off again. Can you see how much whiter it looks now? Sorry, I know I mentioned it earlier, but this is the second layer that I painted on, and this time it was mixed with clear alcohol. Okay, so let's choose a backing board. So the head is already on a board, but I think I'd like to do like the body. So I'd printed off a template, and I want him to kind of look like he's coming out, because on the website they had a really cool picture of each of the characters kind of coming out of like a little frame. So I thought I would create that. I mean, my frame's going to be a little bit different, but I think that's fine. So I drew around the template because I'm going to cover the background in a thin layer of fondant. I've gone for green. I could have covered the whole thing, but I didn't want to waste my fondant, so I only wanted to put it on the areas that we're going to be seeing. But I'm also going to use that template now to cut out each kind of body piece. So I'm going to start with the tail. And if you wanted, you could do each of these body, tail, feet pieces in cake. But I wanted to keep them quite thin, so they were set much further back than the head. So that's why none of these ones have got cake inside. So with the body, again, just use the template, and I've just pressed in with my Dresden tool anywhere that looks like it needs to set further or sit further back. So pressing in indentations, using that texture mat again to add a little bit of texture and dinosaur kind of skin. And can you see I've just took the tail under the body, and then we're going to paint the white bits on for under the tail and the tummy. Now his foot is going to kind of come over the board. So I've actually cut myself a little bit more cake card, a little bit of a cake card that's going to sit under the foot, so that if we pick this up, the foot's not just going to kind of hang off and fall off the edge. Now I have used a large chunk of red fondant. Now I did have a lot of red fondant, so like I had enough to be able to do this, but this is a heavy, pretty thick piece of fondant. Earlier I actually did keep my cake offcuts from the head, which I was going to use for inside that leg and the foot. And by the time I got around to doing this, I had actually completely forgotten that I had put them at the side ready to use. So I'll just have to eat those instead. kind of forearms and hands, can you see I am modeling those as separate pieces? But again, keeping that template nearby so I can kind of create a rough shape and hold it above the template and see if it looks like it's about the right size and shape each time. And for the foot, I've used some white, although I have mixed a little bit of cream colour in with it just to darken it a tiny bit. And you can see how my fondant is stretching. That's because it's so warm in here when I'm trying to make this. Again, toes, I'm keeping it nice and thick. I do wish I'd gone for cake, but it was so warm as well in here. Like I said, I'd also forgotten I'd put the cake off cuts to one side for me to use. It was so warm, I ended up pulling off the toes and starting them again and just doing them as one piece. So originally I was rolling them as individual balls. I couldn't even pull the balls back off to redo this piece because they were so stuck because of the warmth in here. Anyway, I think I prefer it as one piece like this way. And then what I did was just rolled a thinner piece of red to kind of go above each toe. You don't want to fully cover the toe. Again, if you are looking at an image, it really helps you with knowing exactly where to put all these things. The head can just be moved over because remember the head is on its own cake card, so that moves about nice and easily. And then we're going to push some big pieces of black fondant on for those toenails, keeping them really nice and chunky. My plan was to do quite a bit of dusting on the background as well. I actually wanted to paint like a leaf effect on, but I don't know about you guys, but I really struggle in warm weather. I don't seem to function very well at all. I very quickly get fed up of what I'm doing. So yeah, the heat really made me be like, oh, this'll do. It'll be fine as it is. And I didn't go in as much detail as I wanted to with this one. I'm using some thick pieces of fondant again to create a little frame. So we're just going to cut a couple of kind of straight pieces, and I've put extra line in just to give it a bit more detail. Again, I was going to go for something a little bit fancier, but by this point I was too kind of hot and bothered by the heat. So I just wanted to find a nice, quick, easy way of doing it. I know I haven't shown you, but you can add water to all these bits to stick them in place. And then I'm just going to add a few more highlights to kind of the toenails, top of the leg, just that red bit above the toes. You can even add some highlights to the frame as well. So you want to think about where the light would hit kind of your dinosaur in the frame. So usually if your light is kind of on one side, it would generally be all on that same side that it would hit like the dinosaur. I think it makes a big difference though. And can you see it makes a difference as to whether I dust it on dry or whether I paint it on wet. And then I'm just going to go over with some more kind of darker areas anyway that I think I need it. One more highlight on the top of the arm, I think. And then there's just the spikes to add. I actually did forget about these. I thought I'd finished it. And as I was about to photograph it, realised that he was missing his spikes. So there we go, just added on there. Have you guys seen the Paw Patrol movie, actually? If you have, let me know what you think about the new characters. Do you like them? Do you have a favourite? This Rhubarb character was one of mine, and my niece requested that I create this one for my YouTube video. So there it is, all done. I would have liked to have spent a little bit longer painting details on all the scales, but like I say, I was just too warm. Okay, so I think all that is left to do is cut into him. And before I do that, Richard just is going to take a few photos ready for social media. So don't forget, guys, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook and all the usual social media places. Although I'm pretty bad on TikTok, I'm very rubbish. I did have to have a fan on this the whole time because it was getting so warm and melting. But yeah, let's cut into him and see what he's like. He's so soft to cut into. So soft, and that's because all the buttercream is melting. Let's have a look inside. Oh, it's not as melted as I was expecting. And I'll see if my niece wants this one, even though I've already cut into it. There we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you for the next one soon.